afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It's Friday,
hmm
February 5th.
February. Where did
February.
January go?
I don't know.
I saw a funny meme the other day that was like, January was the longest year of my life.
That's a good one
I know.
and pretty accurate.
I know, right?
Pretty accurate. So welcome. This is a podcast about yarn and knitting and crocheting and spinning and sometimes weaving and lots of other random things, whatever, and the weather. Generally, the weather. We should just start with like this is a podcast about the weather and some yarn stuff, because that's
Maybe we can have a
definitely.
guest meteorologist on sometime.
I don't know any meteorologists. I should I should make friends with one. That would be cool. Um, anyway, so
Will you
normally,
be my friend?
will you be my friend? I have questions.
Oh my gosh.
So once upon a time, Kelly and I got to podcast together. We would bring you these episodes jointly from the same couch uh, at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont.
It's right through that wall.
Right through that wall.
I
Kelly,
almost sat there, but then I was like, well, if customers wandered back, I don't have my mask on, and so
yeah,
I'm in the back.
yeah, there we go. But we can't do that right now. So we've transitioned to this other platform.
Maybe when the weather gets good, we can just sit outside and
Outside. That would be cool.
socially distance.
Be cool. 6 feet apart, yell at each other. No.
Right.
Um, so we may be able to get a little more creative as sort of things related to COVID clear up, and hopefully at some point in the future we will be able to be back together in the same space, because that was certainly fun for everybody, fun for us. And until then, you get us in two different locations. Um, so anyway, so you can find the store out on all forms of social media as Must Love Yarn. We do have an actual bricks and mortar store, but we also have an online store, and you can shop with us either way. So whatever works for you. And we have a Ravelry group and Facebook page and Instagram. So those are kind of the main ones where you can find us and see what's going on. And I'm Angela,
And I'm Kelly.
and you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
Yep. And we do have podcast mascots. Um, they are a mob of meerkats, and the ones that I am responsible for are in an undisclosed location, meaning my 4-year-old has absconded with them and put them somewhere. I don't know where they are. They're here somewhere. I have to go through her like hidey holes of stuffed animals because I think that's where they have wandered off
Migrated
to.
too.
They have migrated off. They're hanging out with some other stuffies, and as soon as I locate them, I will perhaps make some more posts on their Instagram page. So anyway, but they do have an Instagram page, and occasionally get into some shenanigans. So yeah. So what do we got for everybody this week? Should we start? It's not really like a true pick of the week, but let's start with some yarn.
Okay.
Let's show some yarn stuff.
Do you want me to show new yarns? Do you want me to show Seasons of Vermont stuff? What do you want to start with?
Let's start with Seasons of Vermont because I'm
Okay.
excited about this one.
Okay. So I didn't print out Jen's thing, but I think you've got the image, so you
I've
can
got the image, so when we get to there, I will put a picture in of
awesome.
it. Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna switch my camera because I've been teaching a lot of private lessons and I have a separate camera that actually points from the top down so people can watch my hands, but I've got it set up so that I can show all the fun yarns. I
Look at
know.
we're getting all fancy.
Something.
We're getting something.
All right, so it takes me half a second
Okay.
to change this.
This is exciting.
Yeah, Ange hasn't seen this. She hasn't taken a lesson or class with me, so she hasn't gotten to see the fun the fun bits. Okay, let me move this up a little bit. Dun, dun. Okay.
Whoa.
Da, 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 right?
Oh my
So,
goodness.
Seasons of Vermont box. We've got a new one coming out for February. Jen's been working hard away at getting everything organized, and she made the bags this time,
Those
which
bags are
they're
gorgeous.
amazing. So I'm going to kind of clear everything out of the way and then just show everything one piece at a time, so that we can kind of talk a little bit about it. So this year's Seasons of Vermont. So last year we did an inspiration photo, and we we included the photo in the form of a card in each of the boxes. And so this year Jen has decided to do color as the inspiration. So February is red, and it's red for a number of different reasons. One, the obvious Valentine's Day, but also Go Red for Women is February. So heart health for women is important, so that it kind of worked out well. So each of the subsequent boxes that we're going to be doing are going to have a theme based around color, which is kind of a
Yes.
fun way to do it because it gives the different artists that we're working with a lot of latitude as to what they want to be able to do. um,
Exactly. No, it's super exciting.
so Jen made these fun bags. She found this great fabric, though the white is a lovely quilted fabric, and then this one is so cute because it looks like knit stitches, which is so fun.
Mhm.
So it's a nice little bag. This is a pocket on either side. So you can kind of store, you can pop your pattern in there. So if you're working on something and you need your pattern accessible, you can do that. Um, and then it's just a nice flat bag, and she did a really lovely job, finishing the inside seams. So they're just a really lovely bag.
Nice.
So that's the first part. The second part is the yarn.
Oh
I know,
my
right?
gosh.
Isn't it stunning?
So gorgeous.
So this time we had Michelle of Woolens and Nosh do our yarn, and it's a beautiful self-striping yarn. I think we might have a picture that Ange could pop in. Michelle sent us a picture, I think, of one knit up. Well, and Jen's got one too.
Yeah.
She knit this the pattern, so we can show it. But this is Michelle's superwash Cordale base, so it's a little bit of a thicker yarn. It's really great. You can use it for socks. The pattern that Jen's including is a cowl pattern. It's super cute. So it's 75% Cordale, 25% nylon. There's 383 yards in here, and it's 100 grams. So it's self-striping, and it does these, it's got all different shades of reds and pinks and white in there, that really deep, dark burgundy color. So it's
It's
just
amazing.
lovely. Yeah. Michelle does such a great job with her dyeing. So we wanted to bring her back in. Oh, the Christmas yarn she did for us just
Just flew out the
flew
door.
out of here. So we knew it would be a good pairing for our first box. So the yarn is Woolens and Nosh. And then some of the other companies that we're doing this year are going to be familiar to you. So we've got our like Champlain chocolates again, of course, in cute little hearts this time. So some little goodies. We're doing Luna Roma is did some lip love for us, so it's a chapstick, and I think there's two different flavors, and we're just gonna you get whatever's popped into your into your bag.
Yeah,
So that's we're doing that. Caitlin Birch Glassworks did buttons for us, and they are just stunning.
those are
I
gorgeous.
mean,
Oh
you
my
don't even.
goodness.
I know. I wish that you could see them in person because it just doesn't even give you. But
Gorgeous.
they're just yeah, they're really really lovely. So they're lovely glass buttons. And then we're doing Elizabeth Studio again. She is doing cork pieces for us. And this was a really cool cork because it had that really pretty red in there. So you can see everything has that little splash of red in it. And so these are great little pouches. They're great, for stitch markers or whatever little treasure you want to put in there.
Hmm.
They're really lovely. So that's included. And then
Gorgeous.
this year for something fun and different. So rather than doing the greeting cards, we're going to do custom pins in each of the boxes. And so for the first one, it has our Must Love Yarn logo at the bottom, and it's got the yarn ball that then swoops into a heart. So these are really super cute little enamel pins that we actually, there's a local company that we work with that does these for us. So
Those turned out so
aren't they
amazing.
awesome? Yeah.
Those are so cool.
Yeah.
So
So,
cool. And so we'll be doing a different style or different enamel pin with each
mhm.
box this time. So instead of a set of note cards, you would end up with a set of enamel pins that
Yeah.
go and match with each of the themes.
Yep.
So that's pretty, we're kind of excited about that because we get to play around. Like our person that does these can do almost anything. We
I
haven't
know.
stumped them yet.
Yeah, I mean, these are 3 color, because we've got the white, the teal for our yarn ball, and then the red background, so,
Hmm.
they do a really good job on them, so
Yes. So these boxes, and then of course we also have the pattern,
mhm,
which will be included with this, and I will post some pictures of that cowl um, in the video so everybody can see the pattern that will be included. These boxes are scheduled to be released on February 12th
yep,
at noon. So that's next Friday. And I don't know that we have a price point on these yet. But in the past, our boxes have ranged between 75 and $120, and it really just depends on what goodies
mhm,
are in the box for that particular month.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so
exactly,
so that kind of gives you a sense of monetary what you're looking at.
yep,
And keep an eye out on Instagram because
mhm,
we'll be posting some more photos and little reminders out there. And I think sometimes we do a countdown for
mhm,
the release date, so we look for that on Instagram as well
yep,
if you need sort of a reminder of when they're going to go live. So we're really excited about this box. We're really excited about all of them, but
yeah,
this one is just, it's so beautiful and
it is,
exciting.
yeah,
So
yep, very
awesome.
cool, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So do we want to, and there's my dog barking. Um, do we want to do the like regular part of the podcast now and then come back to spring yarns?
That's
Or
up
is
to
it
you.
a
I
giant pain to flip back and forth
No,
among
it's not.
things?
It just takes me half a minute to
Okay.
switch back, so I can do that. Um,
Just so people get to see you again.
you don't want to just stare at my desk.
Or me. Uh, excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
So I see that both Kelly and I are wearing some hand knits today. It
Mhm.
is hand knit weather
It is.
where we are, which is exciting. Super exciting. So what you got on today, Cal?
So I am wearing my shift cowl that I did, I don't know what, last year, 2 years ago? I don't know, whenever I did it. It was in the shop for a long time as a shop sample, and I stole it back. I don't remember when. I got cold one day and I wanted a cowl, so mine is out of mostly Malabrigo. There's two colors, the dark color and the medium color are both Malabrigo Arroyo, and then the kind of the white color was a primrose yarn that we had. So
Nice.
yeah, it's very neutral. I want to do one that's really like bright and splashy. I might actually take some of the new Medina colors and use that and do like a summer version
Cool.
or something like that. But because there's some, I've seen quite a few made out of the Medina, the Baroque Medina, which I'm going to show you the three new colors in a little bit. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I'm wearing my stripes sweater. It's
Yay!
done. Also finished object. Yay! So this is a sweater by Andrea Mowry. I decided to do it into two colors instead. I mean, this is one of these sweaters where you have so many different options.
Hmm.
You could even do this in one color and just omit the stripes. It's a um, very nice fitting sweater. Mine is in the solid green is Digilpin, they're Lowland, and the sort of variegated other stripe is LRA Unique. So as you can see, the sleeves don't quite match because, the stripes just sort of hit where they hit, but it I think is an interesting color combination and an interesting way to do it. This is all done. I finished this a while ago. We just haven't podcast to be able to show it. And if you're local to us, I will be taking it to the shop. So it is going to become a shop sample for a period of time because these are all yarns we have in the store. And I think, it helps for people to see these things knit up.
Mhm.
And, these are two different types of yarns that people wouldn't necessarily pair together, but I think
Yeah.
they work
Yeah.
for like this type of sweater. And I think they work really well.
Yeah.
So,
It's fun.
yeah, just, you let the yarn do all the work. um, so, so that's what I'm wearing. And it's also a
Nice.
finished object. So we got two categories down with the sweater.
Yeah, I have no FOs. As I mentioned before, and I think it was in outtakes, I didn't bring any of my knitting projects or projects I've been working on because it was like blizzard-like conditions this morning, and I looked out the window and it's like, oh no, I have to go now, and I just didn't grab anything. And I really haven't had time. I've been actually doing some orders for my other business, the Cranky Sheep. That's been keeping me busy, and so I actually really don't even have that much to show
Yeah.
if I had
No,
brought it.
I mean, I mean, I hear you. I've been making masks. A friend of mine has a boutique and sells the masks in the boutique, and I've been just, I mean, she sold like 80 of them in 1 week. It was like crazy.
Wow.
So I've been doing a ton of sewing. Um, and if people want to check them out, it's the same woman that did has done shirts for us in the past for different things. Her business is called Side Pony Boutique. I don't believe she has the masks up on her website, but you can find them in her Facebook group. So just if you're interested, check them out, but shh, because it's a secret who's making her the masks. Like I haven't outed myself over there yet, so I'm telling all you guys, but just, mum's the word, folks. She has the exclusive contract.
There you go.
So I've been doing a lot of that, but I did finish up the sweater, and so every color change, there was a lot of ends to weave in on the sweater. So because every stripe has two ends to weave in on either side. So it's and then sleeves as well. So that took a considerable amount of time to do that. But just part of the process.
Mhm.
And then actually, it's fun that Kelly is wearing her shift cowl because I actually started one of those as well. And I can't remember if I showed the
You
yarn.
showed the yarn, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well, this
looking
is
really fun.
isn't
I
that
like that.
fun?
Yeah.
So that's two solid dyed gilpin colors. So the red and one of the grays, and then sort of this section up here, the background color is one of
Addition tree, the Shopal wool,
the
yeah.
Shopal wool. So it's this one, which is grays and blacks, and I've used enough of it that you can't see all of the color, but it's just a variegated. Um, I was thinking as I was knitting this, if I were going to do something like this again, what I might do is just do the whole background in the Shopal wool
Mm,
and the blips in
different
a
colors.
solid or different solid
Mhm.
colors that were sort of coordinating
Mhm.
instead of because like in this some of it gets a little lost
Mhm.
because
You can
but
still see
it's
the texture. The texture's
oh
coming
yeah.
through really well,
Yeah,
yeah.
the texture is amazing, and part of that is the digilpin, like, it shows texture so well, but
Yeah.
this is super fun. Again, super neutral. I'm making this for a friend of mine. She, uh, was way into it, and I showed her some, different styles, and this is the style she liked, and she gave me some color choices, and off I went. So, I just started the decreased section, so I'm in the fast part of the the shop. And I will hopefully be wrapping that one up pretty soon. And then I think I'm gonna cast on another sweater. I have um, so many sweater quantities of yarn. I might do Spark.
Mhm. Yeah, I've
That's
had that one in my queue. I actually bought that pattern because I had the intentions of knitting it. I might use some hand spun at least for the colorful part of that.
I bought some Feederbrook
Mhm.
farm yarn for that. They do mill ends, and so they'll do them in bigger skeins with their
Yep.
sort of mill ends. Um, and the color, I mean, I think that style of yarn, it's the same style as spin cycle and that type of yarn lends itself really well to that sweater because it's
Yep.
just if you're using it for the blippy colors, like having tons of crazy colors is part of the design. So I think that might be um, what I cast on next. I bought over Rhinebeck weekend from Cece's wool some of her
Mhm.
Jacob's wool in like a gray color. So I might use that. I think I'm going to use those two together for that sweater.
Nice.
That's what I'm thinking.
Nice.
And then I'll go down and start looking at my yarn stash and get distracted and knit something totally different. But
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I feel like there was another project I was thinking of starting, uh, and I'm just looking at what is my giant mess of trying to move things from up here in this room down into the craft dungeon. Um, I've stalled out a little bit. You kind of reach that point, you're just like,
I know.
no, what do I do with this stuff?
I know. Yeah, I know it is. It's hard. I uh I haven't planned a whole lot of projects. There's things I would love to, but I've got I just coordinating a shearing date with my shearer for the sheep. I've got two ewes that I bred. I'm pretty sure one of them took. The
Mm,
other one I'm not sure of yet, but I didn't have the vet come out and check them. But once it gets closer, it gets easier to tell because they start producing milk. so you can look at their udders actually and tell. Um, and then I'm starting some seeds this weekend, and because I'm going to have an enormous garden, so I've got a lot of things on my plate that are going to be coming up, and once they do, I'm going to be like nonstop for
Yeah.
months. So I'm trying not to like put too many irons in the fire at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. No,
I'm
I mean,
close to
it's,
getting my tax stuff done, so I'm going to finish that up next week and get that off to the accountant. So that'll be huge relief too, because that's been taking up a lot of my time. I mean, with three
yep.
businesses, it's
I'm still pretending that the mask thing is not a business, and it's rapidly approaching the need to be handled like an actual business. I mean, it is an actual business. I just am trying not to take on one more thing. It's
yeah,
still a thing I do just to like help my friend out. It's kind of taken on a life of its own at this point.
yeah. Well, and it may end up slowing down as we get closer
Yeah.
to an end in sight with the vaccine rollouts and everything. So
Yep. Exactly.
just claim it as income and then let it fizzle out when it needs to.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, um, but I did, Kelly, you inspired me when you were talking about the pattern last time we were podcasting, the one with the fabric
Mhm.
body, and then you did the next. So I,
Summerfields, I think it's called.
Summerfields, yeah.
Yeah. Kristen
Um,
Kapoor.
so I bought the pattern
Nice.
and I've been looking at it. I need to make the pattern, right? So you print off all the pages and you got to tape them
Yeah.
together to do the cutout parts. And I have some fabric. That I've been. Now I just have to decide which fabric I want to use because I couldn't just buy one fabric. I had to buy like five because I want choices.
Right. That's important.
Yes. So I have to lay those out and then look at my yarn stash. So some of it may depend on like which yarn do I want to use and which one matches what fabric. So there's some planning, but
Yeah.
that's in the works.
Nice.
That's
I
a
think I've inspired, so we still are doing our virtual knit groups,
yeah.
and there's a few of the people who found us because have found the knit group because of the podcast. They watch the podcast, and so I think I've inspired some of our knit group members to make that too, because they're like, hmm.
I mean, maybe we need an along
I
because
know we
nothing
might.
will get me to get something halfway done like an along.
Uh,
Why don't we do it? We'll start it on like the 15th for
okay,
like a couple of months. Why not?
sure.
Okay. So if you want to let knit group people know, and
Okay,
I'll throw a thing out on the Facebook group on the Ravelry
Ravelry.
boards about it. I think it would be fun. It would be super cool to see like what people come up with, the
Yeah,
combinations, because you can be so creative between the
yeah.
fabric and the yarn.
And it's a fun way to use up, a skein of fingering weight yarn,
Hmm.
because we all have a skein of
What I
at least one.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, right. I don't know what I'm talking
there
about.
there is a yarn shortage at my house.
Uh, I was looking at my yarn, especially my fingering weight yarn, and I'm like, oh, I got to get this weaving project done because I could eat up a whole lot of yarn if I start using some of my stock yarn for weaving.
That's totally true. Totally true. Sweaters are good in that regard because they use up a lot of yarn,
They do.
but
They do.
and some shawl patterns,
Hmm.
like the three color shawls, like some of the like pullover, like poncho style ones that like Casapinka's been doing or has done in the past, eat up a lot of
And
yarn.
Andrea Mowry ones because they're usually quite big.
You can wrap them all up and get all snuggly in them and use like 7 skeins of yarn, and then you're like,
Hmm.
yay.
Or Stephen West ones because he's got a few too where you're holding a couple strands together to
Hmm.
make like a DK.
Hmm. Lots of options out there.
I know.
But we'll do the tank thing. I can confirm for everybody. Let me look it up right now what the name of it
I'm pretty
is.
sure it's Summerfields.
I think that sounds right. Um, it is not heavy on the paper. I mean, light on the paper, just as a
Yeah.
warning.
The
Um,
nice thing is, yeah, because you have like your sewing directions, you have the sewing pattern, and then
yep,
you have the knitting pattern.
yep.
So, I mean, really, the only thing you absolutely have to print is the sewing pattern to cut out. Everything else, if you use a digital reader, you could do everything else on with that. But it
I'm a
is.
I'm a tree killer, so I just printed it at work.
The nice thing is she does it in layers, so you only end up printing the size that you need for
Cor-
your pattern.
Correct.
So,
So it makes it easier when you're piecing it together and cutting it out. So it is called Summer Fields. So we'll start this as an along. Oh, and one of the other things that's in there is there's actually directions if you want to do embroidery on the
mhm.
knitted portion as well. So it's super customizable, super fun. Like,
Yep,
what a interesting way to like combine crafts. And
yep,
I know there's a ton of us that sew and knit and crochet and like do lots of lots of things.
yep.
So let's do it. Let's launch that out. Summer Fields. That's the motivation that I need to like piece my pattern together and get stuff cut out and get going. Um, so couple started on the 15th and we'll run it for a couple of months. I think there's not a huge amount of knitting, most of it's sewing.
Yep.
So that should be doable even if you have to order supplies. Because why go into your stash? Just anyway. So come join the fun. It'll be fun. And you have a pretty cute new top to wear for the summer
Mhm.
or
And you
under
could
a
probably even wear it
cardigan.
over a long sleeve shirt too, depending on
Yeah.
how tightly or loosely it fits.
Or under a cardigan or,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yep.
So I have grand plans. I'm going to make like 5 of them. I will make one, just so you all know.
Uh-huh.
I will end up making one. And I'll be like, something about it will be too fiddly. And I'll be like, it's too fiddly. I'm not doing this again. Or it'll be super cool. And then I will make like 5. Could happen.
Right.
Maybe I should run a second competition in the chat where people guess how many I make, and then I'll give prizes. Oh,
Oh boy.
fun times. It's always like this here.
Mhm. Yep.
So I feel like we maybe are at the end of like our knitting content, but we have more yarn to show.
We do have more yarn to show. Mhm.
Kelly has a whole bunch more yarn to show.
I
So
do.
let's flip back over to that because that's exciting.
Okay. I know, and it's our spring yarns,
Gosh,
which I've
she's
been
got a
rolling in.
whole basket of
Whole basket. So there are two that are brand new, and then there's a couple that have new colors. And then, of course, I forgot one of the ones that has new colors too, but I'll show that at another time because, we can do that. We don't need to show it all today. All right, let's go here. We'll switch the camera around. Do video. Okay. So I will start with the brand new yarns. So this is one, and it's Broco Summer Sesame. And I actually just heard from the sales rep that they have completely sold out of any that was in the States. So thankfully we we got most of our order um, to begin with. And this shawl is so cute. It's like a slip stitch shawl, and then and the fringe you do all at the same time while you're knitting. Um, but these are all the patterns that are in the new pattern book. So they're really cute. If you're familiar with their regular sesame, the Broco sesame, this is a very similar yarn. It just doesn't have any wool, so it's a cotton acrylic nylon yarn. So it's super soft too. So I will show you the yarn.
I like
So
that top middle one.
yeah, so that actually, we are getting that as a shop sample, but it takes them a little while to, for all the sample knitters to work through. So that one will be a shop sample that we'll have. I don't know what color we're gonna get it in, but we are gonna have that in the shop before too long.
Is this what I put my, like, sarcastic face on and I'm like, "We'll get it in the one color that we don't have the yarn for."
Or the one that ends up getting discontinued, because that usually happens. Um, so, um, the summer sesame, there are 9 colors. We have 5 in stock, and we do have the other 4 are will be showing up at some point. But just, with shipping, you just don't know. So this is color 5243. So that's one, and they come in the balls like this.
So
Uh,
how much practice has it taken you to be able to place those in the screen, talk about them? No, I'm sorry. This is more of a technical, like, I'm curious because I have a hard time like pushing my hair out of my way on my face and when I'm looking at myself in the camera. So,
it's not too bad, and sometimes what I'll do is, like, I'll turn the camera on early, and I'll mark out on my desk, like, the edges of what the
oh,
camera's picking up.
yeah.
I didn't do that today because I just turned it on, but sometimes if I'm teaching, I'll do that, or I'll have, like, a board or something underneath, that's the size of, like, the view of the camera.
And then you know if it's on the board, it's on the
Exactly.
screen.
So as long as I don't hit the camera or hit the board, then I'm okay.
So smart.
But I'm looking at my screen and I turn mirror view off,
Oh, okay.
um, which so that I know, like, you know, because you can do that. When you're looking at yourself, mirror view is handy because then it's like looking at a mirror and you're not,
Right.
messing things up. But when
Right.
you're looking at things that you're actually doing, that your hands are doing, mirror view is not helpful at all.
And I just totally derailed this whole yarn showing. I'm sorry, everybody that's yelling at us now because they want to see yarn, and I have stopped this process. So sorry.
This is color 5244. It's pretty blues and yellows and
Ooh,
greens.
that's a nice bright summer color.
Wait until you see this one. This is bright and cheery. This is 5236.
Ooh,
So bright.
that's fun.
Isn't that fun? This one is a really lovely neutral 5249. So it's kind of like a
Oh,
bluey slate gray with little pops of
that is
golds.
gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah. The color may not be perfect, but
Totally gorgeous.
and then the last one that we have in stock is a really lovely kind of neutral earth tones, but it's got some really pretty blue in it too, and that's 5235, and that's this
Oh,
one
that's
here.
also pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Is it a sport weight? Sorry, I'm
It
sure
is
you said
actually
it.
a worsted weight. I did not.
Worsted weight.
I haven't given you the details of it yet.
Okay.
I did mention that it's a cotton acrylic nylon, mostly cotton and acrylic blend. 295 yards, huge yardage for a worsted weight. So that's really nice. And they are 100-gram skeins. And the put up is nice. You don't have to wind your balls, and they're
Yeah.
not the little balls that fall off the shelf either, which I'm going to show you some of those in a minute.
And
Um,
I mean, conceivably, you would only need what, like 3 skeins to make one of those t-shirts?
yeah, something like
Maybe
that
4?
probably. Yeah, not a lot because it's great yardage on
Yeah.
these. It is machine washable, which is also nice. And yes, it is worsted weight, so they're recommending a size 7 needle.
So also a fast project. I'm
Yeah.
gonna mute because I'm pretty sure my dog's gonna bark. The postman just drove into my driveway.
Oh boy.
Oh, not gonna bark.
And so these are $15 a ball. So,
Okay.
uh,
That could net you a pretty affordable project for a
yeah.
t-shirt or
Yeah, so,
something.
yeah, you can, do a tank top for $30 or less, so, you
Yeah.
know,
Awesome.
depending on how much you end up needing. But even still, you can get some good stuff out of this. I actually, I'll show you a color that I bought. I'm gonna, I think, work on designing a little summer cowl. So the next yarn that we have is Zinnia. And this is the new pattern book for Zinnia, and Andrea is actually knitting this little t-shirt up out of kind of a neutral color for the background and then a blue for the little stripe. It's a really great, straightforward little V-neck t-shirt that has these are little garter ridges where the striping is, so you get a little bit of texture. And then these are the patterns for that. I love this little long sleeve sweater,
Mm.
and I love that little tank too. There's some really cute,
A
cute, cute
poncho
pieces.
is kinda cool too. Is that
Yeah,
poncho?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's some really, really cute stuff. Baroque always does a really good job with their designs.
Yeah, they have a really nice, like, pattern support and,
They do. They do. They've always had good people in charge of their design team. So we have 9 colors of this as well, and all 9 are in stock. Of the
nice.
Zinnia. These are 50-gram skeins, so they're smaller, 125 yards, and they are mostly cotton. They're 93% cotton, 7% nylon, and they are machine washable as well. And they're going to retail for $12 a ball. So this is what the balls look like. And there are 2 colors that are spun together, so they are like a marl, and then they have little slubby bits in there, so it's a little bit hard to tell, but
Oh,
there are some
wow.
little slubby bits in there. But the 2 colors, they kept really low contrast on the colors. You can kind of see it, spiraling, but they kept such low contrast on the colors that when you see this all knit up, it actually reads as a solid color. Um,
Interesting.
it doesn't
Cool.
read as like a stripy color.
You can
So
actually see the 2 colors more when you put that down on the table.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's very subtle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they kept the contrast between the colors is very close. So
What an interesting way to put some yarn together and put
yeah.
colors together.
So all of the colors are, they're great summer colors, but they're pretty muted. They're really lovely. A lot of blues and kind of um colors in that family, and then they also did throw in this peach color, which is really fun too. So
Ooh,
these
that is
2
fun.
would pair really, really well together. You can
Oh,
see
wow.
the pops of peach in there that pick up.
Mhm.
So that'd be a fun one for that little t-shirt. The t-shirt that we are doing, I believe, are those 2 colors. So this
Cool.
is the main color. This one we use for the main color. So this one is Zinnia. And like I said, we do have all 9 of the colors in stock of that. So,
Nice.
yeah. And then, oh, I forgot to bring that one. That was silly. Um, it's fine. I can show that one next time too. It's just another one that we stock and they gave us new colors in. So I do have one more that I can show now, and that is the Baroque Medina. And that was a huge hit last year and I think even the year before. It's been out for a while, and it's a really lovely summer yarn. It's cotton, acrylic, and viscose. Has just a little bit of a sheen to it. They're $14 a skein, and this is one of the new colors. This is color 4783. This one is so pretty, 4780. And then this green is really lovely too. This is 4784.
Ooh,
So those are the 3 new colors. And then we also have all of the other Medina colors in stock as well. I didn't bring those all out, but they're ones that they've had previously. So these are the ones I was talking about that work really well if you want to do like a shift in like a summer weight. There's some really fun colors that play well together. So
nice.
yeah, I'm thinking of I really love that one.
Yeah.
It's so rich. I love that red in there. It's so pretty. Um, so those are the new ones of that. We also have new colors in modern cotton, and we restocked a bunch of colors in the modern cotton. And I didn't bring those with me, but I actually have one that I can show you because it's one of the ones I'm going to use. And the other one that we got new colors into is Linnea, which is kind of like the Mykonos, the Baroque Mykonos that that we had, that they've discontinued now, but it's a really slippery yarn. Um, so it's not quite as slippery and it's multicolored, so it's really pretty. But there's two new colors in that, and I can show those next time though. But just so you're aware. So this is the modern cotton, and this is a really lovely blend of Pima cotton and rayon. And it's super soft. Ange made her that really pretty purple
The
top out of it with the kind of
tank.
cowl neck. Yeah.
Yes. Let me, while you're talking, I will look up the pattern name of that for folks.
So this is one of the new colors. This is called Coast. And then the other three colors are really kind of earth tones. There's like kind of an orangey color, um, kind of like a burnt red color. They're really pretty. They actually work really well together. Um, so it's kind of fun for spring. They're definitely not spring. This is the only one that really kind of feels spring like, but the others are very kind of like southwest feeling. They're really lovely rich colors. Actually the colors are very similar to the colors that are in this skein, so I actually got these two. I'm going to pair these together and I'm going to do like a summer cowl out of these.
Awesome.
So I'm going to so, another project that I might might get a chance to work on at some point. Um, so this is the summer sesame. So I think that'll be kind of fun. But
Awesome. The
yeah,
tank pattern was called Gretel.
Gretel, that's
Yeah.
right.
So it was a really kind of cool cowl neck tank that I did out of the modern cotton. Again, one of these really quick patterns because it's worsted weight on larger needles,
Yeah.
and just a fun knit quick project. You can wear it under things. I should probably bust that one out. I haven't worn that one in a while, but it's been kind of chilly. I've been not wearing
Yeah.
a lot of tanks. I've been wearing tank tops, but I wear them under things. So something that has
Yeah.
like a cowl neck like that doesn't lay flat, so you can't actually wear it comfortably under a sweater unless it's a cardigan.
Hmm.
So, but I have some ideas because clearly what I need is more yarn. But that's fun. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it's there's some really fun new stuff. We've got some new colors that just came in from Wonderland Yarns that are they're based in Vermont, so they're a fingering weight. We're still getting their it's destination, but it's Distitch Nation. So it looks like when it's spelled out Distitch Nation, but it's for like destination. So they're doing like a different place is their theme, and then they do a colorway based on that. So every month we get new ones in. Those are really fun. So you can actually look that up under Wonderland Yarns on our website. We
Nice.
just got the most recent one, which is New England,
And
and
those
it's
tend to
really
be
fun.
pretty like limited edition, right? So like when they're gone, they're gone. And if you're
Yeah.
not part of the subscription or a shop that's part of the subscription, you
Hmm.
can't just order those directly from them. They come with this.
Yeah, once they sell out of them, they sell
Yeah.
out. So they do have some of the ones on their website, the back ones, which we actually
Okay.
have a few of them too. They're really pretty, and the yarn is
Oh,
amazing.
that their yarn's fabulous.
Yeah. So, and then we also have just some fun colors in their fingering weight, the Marianne sock. So, if you want to check those out, and maybe I'll try to remember to grab some of those next time too, because there's some really fun colors that they do in those. Um,
That yarn would be amazing with the tank top thing because you
mhm,
could do then a more subtle fabric,
mhm.
or their colors are so vibrant that it would be
Yeah.
gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah. So, and then we've got some other spring yarns I'll be rolling in. Oh, we did a restock. I may have mentioned it last time, although I don't remember, of the unique sock yarns from
Mm,
Earth, the self-striping ones. So we still have some of those in stock. Those are really fun. The yarn is really soft for the socks. So if you're looking for kind of a fun self-striping, sock yarn, and they're in matched balls, so you get 50 grams that are matched striping.
Yep.
So those are really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Super fun.
I know it's really fun. It's funny because I when I buy the yarns for the different seasons, you buy at least like 6 months ahead of time. So when they start rolling back in, they're like, "Oh, right, I remember I get that one."
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Pretty. Yeah. No, I know it's got to be weird buying for spring like last fall.
I know. There's this company I used to work for, and you would buy 18 months ahead of time from this one company, and that
How do
was
you
the hard.
even know?
Isn't that
Like,
ridiculous? 18 months. That was the most companies are like 6 months out from, because they switch the seasons
mm-hmm.
then. But yeah, 18 months. It was ridiculous. That was the hardest thing, and it was really hard to budget for that kind of thing too.
Yeah. Well, because
So,
you pay for the product and then the product shows up, but it's such a long delay. Like for me, I would forget that I had ordered whatever that was, and then it
well,
would
and
show up and
that's the thing. Like that's when like having POs is really important because then you know because you don't usually pay for it. A lot of the companies are really good about doing terms. So you pay for it, months after you actually get it, but you still have to have that allotted for
right.
going forward for your purchasing. So, it's a balance. So, but thankfully our vendors at the yarn store, this was a different when I worked for a different company. But uh, most of them here are 6 months, but
Nice.
I know.
Yeah.
So summer sesame sold out. So if there's colors that you want to get, make sure you buy enough all
Yeah.
at the same time because it definitely won't be the same dye when it comes in again since it's sold completely through.
Yep. So
That's
buy that
wild.
extra skein.
Hmm.
If it's close, buy an extra skein or have a plan
Yeah.
if you run short.
Yeah.
But oh, what fun colors those are.
Yeah. They're really fun. The Sesame did amazingly too when it was first released. So
Yeah.
I can see how the summer sesame and for people that can't wear wool, it's a fun alternative. It's really
Right.
soft, and I haven't started working with this yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be nice to work with because it's a blend.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, it looks like I'm not going to just be dropping off the sweater. It looks like I'm going to have to do a little shopping when I show up. Doing it.
Arr.
More yarn.
Oh, and
Maybe.
I didn't mention, but that Zinnia, the Zinnia, they're actually considering that a worsted weight too.
Hmm,
They have you. Let me grab one so I can give you the details because I forgot to tell you that. They have you knitting it on a 7, getting 4.5 stitches to the inch. But if you look at it, it looks really thin.
oh, yeah. Interesting.
But I think they want you to, it's a really dense yarn. So Andrea's knitting that little t-shirt out of this and she's like, it's very heavy. So, I think they're planning on having people knit it at a looser gauge so that it doesn't get that really, because some cottons, sometimes they just weigh a ton because they
Yeah.
can be really, really dense. So that's probably why they've got the little bits of slubs in there. So to kind of lighten it up and give it some texture and they do want you to knit this at a looser gauge.
Got it.
Yep.
Got
I mean, it doesn't mean you can't knit at a tighter gauge. Of course you can if you would like, but
it. Yep. Awesome.
yep.
Um, well, I don't think that I have anything else.
I don't think I do either.
She got to show a lot of yarn. That was fun.
I know that is fun. It's always fun when the new stuff comes in.
Right. I mean, not as much fun as us sitting on the couch and being able to like snuggle it and cuddle it, toss it around, but
I know.
still
I
fun.
know. It is fun. And then, it's kind of fun because you freshen up the store because you oftentimes have to move quite a bit of stuff around just so that you can make a nice, bright, fresh display. And so, that's kind of a good feeling too to reorganize and freshen up the store with some new stuff.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
because there's been so many yarns that we actually haven't been able to get. Like, I still can't get any Malabrigo Rasta or Mecca. Like, it's zero. Like, they have none in their warehouse. So, it's our kind of bulky and super bulky sections looking a little sad. So I'm like, well, we'll just tuck this yarn in here. And but we're doing the best we can, and so are the yarn companies. And
Well, and hopefully on our way out of the bulky
yeah,
season anyway, and people are starting to look more towards lighter weight yarns and
yeah.
stuff. So
Yep. Just have to make the best with what we got. So,
e- exactly, exactly. So well, thank you everybody for stopping by.
mhm.
We well, if you're watching this, you know that it's been posted, but it's getting posted in a weird time. So our apologies. This was Friday was the soonest we could fit this in. So and we didn't want to not do it. So
Yeah.
yep. So I think until next time, and as I've been saying, I'm going to stop saying until next week because we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to pull these out weekly at this point. But we are trying the best we can to bring you them as frequently as possible.
Yep.
So until next time, and hopefully by then I will have found the meerkats because they have not made an appearance on the podcast in quite a while.
You should take them sledding with you.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun. I know. When I went sledding, I actually left my phone inside, which was probably for the best.
You could take like a little Rubbermaid container, like a little food run, and make a little sled for them and send them down.
Oh my gosh. So doing that now. Stay tuned for meerkat sledding this weekend. Oh my God. I'm
That's
sure
funny.
my kids would be in on that too.
I
Oh,
know. I could see that.
oh, oh, Kelly. Oh, you just started. Oh God. Okay. All right. Go follow the meerkat Instagram page. I foresee sledding videos and pictures this weekend. Epic. Hysterical. All right. Fun times. Well, until we're able to see everybody again in person, stay safe, happy crafting wherever you are, and thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit.
Yep.
So, I guess until next time.
Bye.
Bye. So, all right, so we're recording, and I'm getting tons of glare on my glasses from the window. So let's see if we can fix this. Oh, maybe not. Let me pull the whole curtain rod down. That's what's going to happen. It's a little bit better. That's actually glare from the computer screen now.
Yep.
See us
That's
in the
okay.
reflection. I'll
You
just,
can
I'll,
just pull them off and
I'll take them off when it's time to actually go.
there you go.
Because I don't actually need them to see. So there's that. That benefit. So how are things?
You know,
You know, keep on keeping on.
that's right.
We got some snow. Oh, so I
Yeah.
have a fun snow story.
Okay.
I have two fun snow stories. One is it's quite possible I am too old to sled at this point in my life.
Oh boy.
We had snow days here on Tuesday, so everybody's school got canceled. Um,
Not everybody. Some people had to do virtual remote learning.
oh, well, okay. Our district canceled school and we had a legit straight up snow day, which was awesome. None of that virtual learning stuff. Old school snow day. So I decided to, in between meetings, that it would be a good idea to go sledding with my kids. It was super fun, but uh,
It's all fun and games.
it's all fun and games till you wake up the next day and you're like, perhaps I shouldn't have done that. I'll do it again. I had a good time. I enjoyed it, and it was just nice to be out, and it had warmed up, and so it wasn't like stupid cold out there,
Yeah, it
and
was nice.
it was fun. And I have a new pair of snow pants that arrived, so it was actually like warm and not cold and wet. So it was like a win all the way around, except for the
Nice.
waking up the next morning part
And not moving and going, "Oh
and
god,
being
what
like,
did I do?"
wow, didn't realize I used that muscle while I was sledding.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's fun story number two. Fun story number one. Fun story number two. When we get snow and who's its and what's its, can create some interesting driving conditions. And so on Wednesday, I actually put my car in the ditch.
Oh, no.
Yep. That was fun. I drive on some dirt roads, and some of the dirt roads have soft shoulders.
Mhm.
Uh, and if you get into a soft shoulder, particularly on one that's next to a steep ditch, there's just not much you can do once you kind of get pulled when if your tires get off into that.
Yeah, it just sucks you right off the road.
It sucks you right off the road into the ditch. My younger child got to listen to some creative cursing while it was happening, as did my parents because I was actually on the phone. We had them on
Oh, no.
speakerphone, so it was like,
Oh, boy.
yeah. But everybody's fine. The car is fine.
Yep.
I mean, if you have to slide off the road in a ditch, being on a dirt road where you're not driving that fast and going into a big
Yeah.
pile of snow, just means you have to wait for the tow truck to come do what they refer to as an extraction.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, I wasn't that far from home, so I was able to call my husband, and he was able to come pick up Abigail, so she didn't have to like hang out in the car
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
But the tow truck actually came pretty quick for a tow truck. So
That's good. I
yeah,
know it was funny, so we got all the snow on Tuesday, and I'm working at the shop all week this week, and I didn't know how busy it was gonna be. It was fairly steady 'cause, we had breaks where, it wasn't really snowing a whole lot. And then, so Wednesday, the roads ended up being worse Wednesday night because we close at 7, and, like, probably around, I don't know, what, late afternoon, early evening, it just started snowing like crazy.
that's the night I went off the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was actually worse driving home Wednesday night than it was Tuesday night when we had the big snowstorm
Well, because all the plow trucks and the sand trucks were out on
on
Tuesday and they
Tuesday.
weren't out on Wednesday.
So I went to leave here on Tuesday night, and Route 7, um, they hadn't plowed the right lane at all. There was 8 inches of snow in the right lane. Thankfully, it's 4 lanes, it's a divided, so it's got 2 and 2,
Right.
2 north, 2 south. So the right lane had 8 inches of snow in it. The left lane was okay, there was snow in the road, but not 8 inches. And everybody was driving in the right lane except for me. I was like,
What's happening here?
"What are you?" I was like, "Is there something
Why?
I don't know?" Like, and there wasn't like black ice, or, you have to be careful no matter what
Yeah.
because you can hit a slushy patch or whatever, even if there's not that much snow. All these people were doing like 25 in the right lane, and I'm like going by them. I'm like, am I missing something?
Is there some traffic memo that I didn't
I
get
know. I was like,
about
why
the
are
left
you
lane being closed?
people wallowing through 8 inches of snow?
That's wild.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was weird.
I super
Uh,
strange.
yeah, yeah.
Super strange. But yeah, and it's like snowing out there kind of, I mean, I don't know if you caught the sunrise this morning.
Oh my gosh,
The
it was
this
amazing.
sky was, like, brilliant red magenta,
Yeah,
and I was like, is there a storm coming?" Like,
I know. And when I left, it was like whiteout conditions.
yeah,
And so I didn't bring like any of my projects I'm working on because I looked out the window and it was like you couldn't see my neighbor's house.
and you're like, "Oh, shoot, I gotta
And I
go."
was like, I gotta go because I gotta make sure I'm there to open, and I wanted to leave myself plenty of time in case the roads were really crappy, and they were okay. I mean, they were snow covered, but they were okay. And
Yeah,
I'd rather drive on snow covered roads any day than, we had freezing rain actually on
Wednesday
Wednesday
morning.
morning, it was
Yeah,
freezing rain, and I was like,
yeah,
"Are you kidding me?"
yeah.
That's the worst. A
Oh,
freezing
yeah.
rain is nasty.
Yeah, it was
So, but
horrible.
yeah, I'll drive on snow any day, rather than freezing rain. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I can't I don't know how I ended up in the ditch with all of that crazy weather.
I know, I know.
But yeah, very nice
Mm,
tow truck man.
that's good.
One of the reasons why we have AAA is for stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and you and John both drive a lot, so
Yeah. Not so much anymore, apparently I'm out
well,
of practice.
not at the moment because everybody's working from home, but
I know. And I
in
was
regular times,
a and I was cursing, it was a UPS driver that I had moved over for. So this is a
mm,
really narrow dirt road, and there's
yeah,
barely enough room for 2 cars. Um, but if you meet something like a UPS driver or like a school bus or something in certain sections, it's really tight. And so I
yeah,
just
especially in the winter.
mhm, yeah, and just got over just too far. Just whoop.
I'm just making notes on some of our new yarns
Okay. I'm
so
gonna
that I'll have
show
all the infos.
this week's this
Nice.
podcast nail update.
So I don't have any on right now because my everything's been so dry. I need to give my nails a break and let them breathe a little. So I have no fancy nails this time. I'm gonna do some before Valentine's Day though, because I've got some sparkly pink and sparkly red. So I have to decide what I'm gonna do.
These are kinda they're little roses. They're hard to see unless you're looking at them very closely. They are Valentine's Day colors. So super fun. I let mine breathe sometimes by taking them off for a couple of hours before I put the new ones on, but
I left mine off for about a week or so now because my nails were just in really rough shape. Like my skin is just so dry right now.
oh yeah, it's I feel like I'm constantly putting hand lotion on
Yeah.
and like the super like fancy stuff, hand lotion stuff that's meant for your hands and then, like an hour later I'm like, "Ah, my skin's all dry again." So,
Yep. And then, being at the shop, I'm washing my hands constantly. Like,
mhm.
when different customers are coming in or putting hand sanitizer on or whatever, just
Yeah.
to keep everybody safe. And so,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
any lotion I put on is like moot.
Yeah. I've
After a little while, it just kind of, gets
I
worn
gave
off.
out a lot of hand lotion for Christmas presents this year. I found there's a company, it's called Rooted, and I get them through Grove. So if people aren't aware of Grove, it's like an
Hmm.
online subscription service is kind of the wrong term because you can choose what you get each month, but it's like
Cleaning
environmentally
supplies and
friendly.
yeah.
Yeah, cleaning supplies, household stuff, lotions,
Yeah.
face shampoos, makeup, that kind of stuff. And so I tried out some hand cream from them, and it's a specific one for hands, and it's amazing.
Hmm.
I love it. And then they came out with like a seasonal one, that's like a like winter berry spiced like scented that's super good. So I've been
Hmm.
buying like lots of that. I just I feel like it provides a lot of like hydration for your hands. And it smells nice. So
That's always a bonus.
always a bonus.
Works well, and then cherry on top, it smells good.
Bonus. Exactly. Exactly. So this is going to be our weird like podcast upload because I think I am going to edit this podcast as soon as we're done and start the upload on it. So it's going to drop like probably like dinner time today. It's Friday. So we
You
just
know,
whatever, just getting you what we can
yeah.
with
But
people's weird
we've
schedules.
got some fun new yarns to show and the new seasons of Vermont box to show. So lots of fun
Hmm.
things.
Exactly. Exactly. So, well,
Crack on.
shall we crack on and get this started?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can stop being distracted with the glare on the glasses.
Everybody else is going to be distracted by all the stuff behind me. It's my office and the storeroom. So my office is kind of here. The storeroom's kind of here and over there a little. So,
Exactly.
bear with us.
Exactly. All right. So, is it morning or afternoon? I don't even know. It's
It
noon.
just turned afternoon.
Okay.